Hey everyone, today I'll be showing you how I model PS1 inspired characters in Blender. I'll walk you through my workflow step by step so you can create your own stylized low poly characters. Let's get into it. So for starters we need to create a cube and apply subdivision to it by pressing Ctrl 1. Let's move it up so it's above the axis. Now I'm gonna choose the loop cut tool and add a loop cut over here. Let's do something like this. Now to modify this shape, we need to apply the subdivision modifier first. We go over here to the modifiers tab and apply it by pressing Ctrl A. Or you can go here, apply. Now we can edit each vertice of this mesh. Let's turn on symmetry in X. I'm gonna turn on the proportional editing, and by using the mouse wheel we can control how big the proportionate editing is. I'll do something like this. Okay, there we go. That's it for the shape. Maybe we can put this down, move this down. Yeah, that should be good. Maybe make it a bit taller. Yeah, this is good. Now let's make the sleeve out of the shape. Just duplicate it by pressing Shift D and move it. Now I'm gonna go back to proportional editing, turn off the symmetry and do something like this. Change that to local to make this taller. Something like this. Now we can go to generate mirror, add modifier, generate mirror, and choose the body as the mirror object. Now do right click shade smooth to give it this type of shading. Now what we don't forget to make this actually more round. You can always change this later on, so don't be too picky with this yet. Now let's make the pants. For the pants, let's create a cube. Move it like this. Let's delete this face. Actually, now let's leave that face. We're gonna delete this face and this face. Now what we're gonna do is to generate mirror. Select the body as the mirror. This way we have two legs. Now we turn on the clipping here, very important, so that when we move it together, it stays together and it's like baked together. Now if we press Ctrl 1, this is what we get. We can do an inset over here. Well, actually, no, let's delete this. Let's delete this. And let's just work with this for now. You see, by adding a new loop cut, you can make the pants, you can control how the pants are. By the way, if you have any questions, just feel free to comment anything down in the comments and I'll try my best to reply. Now let's make this shape. Be careful not to touch them like this. Here I add another loop cut for the knee. I'll make this a bit smaller. Now what I'm gonna do is put the origin to the cursor, and first make sure that the cursor is at the world origin by pressing Shift S, cursor to world origin. Now you can right click, origin to 3D cursor. This way our origin is right in the center and we can scale without problem. It's important because we have the mirror modifier here, and if we didn't do this, it wouldn't be scaling properly. Also do shade smooth with this. I'm gonna make this a bit smaller. I'm gonna come back to the t-shirt and make this go over the top of this. Do something like that. Let's move it up. Now let's apply the subdivision on here. Actually apply the mirror first, then subdivision. Now what I want to do is bring back the mirror modifier. I'm gonna delete this and this. Delete this. Now by pressing L, you select everything that's disconnected. Delete this as well. This way again, we only are left with 1/2. So we put a mirror down here and mirrors it to the other side. We can delete the edges we don't need, like these ones. Dissolve edges. And now let's add this tiny detail of like the stacked jeans by adding loop cuts and moving them like this. Yeah, something like that. Maybe here it's a bit too much. Always go back and make it better. Yeah, so something like this should work. Maybe you can also add more up here. I usually only do some down there, but this works as well. Now let's see. I think I wanna have this shorter, maybe a bit thinner, and this not as big too. Okay, now let's actually make this bigger. Looking back now, I think it should be a bit bigger. This can go back up here. Go like this. Yeah, this should be good. Now let's do the shoes. We're adding a cube. Extrude this over here. Delete this and Control 1. Oops. Go to the object mode and press Control 1 to do something like this. Now add another loop cut down here. So we make the shoe model like that. You can also extrude this. Do something like this. Now to make the sole, let's actually duplicate the shoe. Delete everything but the bottom side, the bottom faces. Now let's make this bigger. Now you see we don't have the top part of this. What we can do now is go into face grid fill. This will fill everything in properly. And let's add loop cut here, loop cut here. That's what we have right now. Let's put origin to geometry so we can scale properly. Scale this up to something like this. That's what we have. So that's what we get. We can also tweak all of this things to make it the way you want to. Actually, maybe don't need this because it's gonna be under the pen. Let's move it back down there. Let's see how it fits. We'll fit the pen around it right now. Okay, so first of all, let's just bring this back in like this. Make it a bit smaller. Make this smaller. Now let's go back to the pen. Let's choose this. And bring it up like that. This way it's like on top of the shoe. And also bring this a bit lower down. Something like that. And now let's add a mirror. Mirror, and let's choose as mirror object our t-shirt. There we go. That's what we have right now. Let's tweak this. Now let's do the hands. For the hands, create a cube. Squeeze it down like this. And now let's make the hand actually. So first give 3 loop cuts like this. Give 1 more like this. These are gonna be our fingers. So first let's take these 2 and extrude them. Let's take these 2 and extrude them. We extrude it separately so that they are not connected. Make sure your proportional editing is turned off. See, they are not connected. Now let's separate our fingers. Separate them like that. Now I think this can be a bit shorter. Let's move it like this. And like this. Let's make the finger like this now. Let's choose all of this. Here we can choose individual origins. Transform P1 point set to individual origins. This way we can scale each of them separately. And let's scale it up. Now just tweak it to get the shape you want. I'll also take and squeeze it all down so it's more squared. Yeah, let's keep on tweaking that. Choose this like this and move it a bit down. Here's the hand ready. Well, no, not actually ready. Now let's add the divisions to the fingers. Just do it by like this, like this, like this, like this. Now let's select this by holding Alt. This way we choose all of the sides. And we move it like this. Here's what we got now. Shade smooth, and this is how it's looking. Now let's do the hand. Now to extend this hand, what I'm gonna do is gonna delete these faces and extrude these 2 faces. Here, like this. Now let's move this over here. Now let's move this over here. do this and this. We join this, mirror, Control M, not Control, just M, M and at center, M at center. Now let's connect this to this. We press F, this to this, we press F. This is not too important to do this. You can leave this step, but it's good to control a bit more your topology. This way we're left with less vertices over here, which is gonna be making our life a bit more simple. Actually, this is a appropriate way, but what we can also do is do this. M at last, this to here, M at last. Yeah, I prefer this. Both ways are okay, but this one is a bit more preferable. Now let's make this bigger and shape it more like a circle. Now let's position it. Do another mirror here. There we go. Let's move it so it's properly placed. There we go. You can always make it more perfect. I'm just doing it for this quick tutorial. But you can spend as much time as you want refining the hands and everything. You can also take a look at references to make it everything properly sized. This is what I'm gonna do for now. Now let's add a cube for the neck. Place it down like here. Delete the top and bottom faces. Now when we do Control 1 for subdivision 1, we get the tube. Shade smooth, and let's place it down there. Now let's create a cube. Put subdivision 1 or maybe even subdivision 2. Now let's shape this. Do something like this. Apply that. We're gonna come here. Let's make the nose. Do something like this. You can make the nose a bit more stronger or a bit less strong. Do it as you want. Now let's copy the head to make a hat. Let's select this loop cut, delete it, press L to select everything on the bottom, delete that too. That's what we're left with. Let's move it like this. Make this. Actually, let's do this. Select all of this. Press SZ0. Global. SZ0. Now we select all of this. Extrude it like this. Now let's also add a grid fill over here. Here is the beanie done. I'm gonna just make this a bit bigger so it's more noticeable. Now I don't quite like this. You'll probably spend some more time on doing this. I just don't want to make the tutorial way too long, so that's gonna do for now. Maybe to make it a bit better, I can choose this, go like this. Up, like this. Like this. Like this. Like this. Like this. Yeah, something like that. Now let's get to texturing that. Let's go into shading. Now I'll show a couple techniques you can use for shading. Basically, let's start just with normal material. Let's make some black pants, blackish pants. Let's add another texture for the shoes. Now let's select everything that's the sole by pressing L. Assign, new material. Let's make some Rick Owens, right? Let's make this a gray t-shirt. Let's add the skin color. Let's make the beanie black. Now I'll show you how to add drawn seam lines for the pant. You want to UV unwrap your pants first. We can go to UV editing for that. Let's actually apply the mirror modifier. And now press U. Smart UV project, unwrap. This is gonna make this type of UV unwrap, which is not the best, but it's gonna work for what we need. Now let's come here and add an image. Add an image texture. Press new one with black color. Plug it into here. Now let's go into texture paint. Now let's put this like to a gray color. So as you see, now we can draw. We put here the we'll put the symmetry here. This way when you draw on one side, he draws another side as well. We can add some more detail this way. Let's do this. And this. So I'm not gonna be adding too much detail right now, but this is how you can do it. You can go in painting with your tablet as well to add any rips or crevices or anything. Now let's add the eyes. For the eyes, I'm gonna do this now. Ctrl E to edge, mark seam. That's how I want it done. Now let's add a seam here. That should be okay. Now let's do A, U, unwrap angle based. So what I did now is I told the computer that I want this cut out exactly like this. That's basically manually telling the machine where the cuts are for the unwrap. And basically it left me this area which I can which I can position the way I need and put the eyes over there. I'm gonna show you now. First of all, let's create a new slot. Material 005 and assign it. Actually, let's make it a new copy of this material. Let's get an image texture. So here is my eye texture. I'm gonna plug it into there. And you see, first of all, it's not gonna show anything. So what we need to do is we go into UV editing, we select these faces that we cut out, and press the eyes, place it the way so that the eyes are seen. Do it like this. This way we add the eyes. Now to change the background to black, what we're gonna do is add the mix color node. Mix color node. And now we can use that our image has a we can use that our texture has a transparency behind the eyes. We can plug the alpha into factor. And now place this here. And this, we're gonna drop our skin color into there. Voila. That's how we get the eyes done. They're not in the best proportion, but that's just how I'm gonna do it for now. I advise everyone to spend a bit more time doing that. So that's basically how you do it. And now we're gonna, for the last thing, we're gonna rig it. We're gonna be using mix ammo to rig it, so to do that, place the character's hands like this. Now let's prepare him for export. Let's copy him. Let's make a new collection where we're gonna place this character. Let's call it char. This is to have a backup plan. Now we're gonna disable that collection. Now what we want to do is apply everything we have here, every modifier, and apply it. Here everything is done, this as well. And now let's add this all together. We choose everything, choose the body as the last thing, and do Ctrl J. We choose the body as the last object because we're gonna get the center origin from there, and we want it to be here in the center. Now let's save this. Let's go to File, Export, Export FBX. Here we're gonna choose Selected Objects only. And hit Export FBX. Log in with your account. Press Upload Character here. Here's our character in the mix ammo. Just make sure he's facing the right direction by pressing all of these buttons. You can rotate him. Now let's select everything the way it shows here in the picture. And click Next. Now here is our character rigged. Click Next. There he is. Now let's choose an animation. You could just download this to have it rigged and animate him yourself, but I'm gonna choose an animation here from the library. All of them are free. Here, let's take the strut walking. Here's how it looks. I'll check this in place so that he's moving in one place. And click Download. Now let's go back to our file. Click File, Import, FBX. So here's what we uploaded here. Now, as you can see, some of the textures are lost. To fix that, we can just select this and then this. click Ctrl L, link materials. This way we're just linking everything from here to here, and this is done. So that's how you get this. So here is our character animated. Let's add the camera. Let's hit F3 to open the search bar and search for Align Active Camera to View. Let's change the resolution to be the other way around. Like this. Let's move the camera now so the character is in the center. Let's go into Shading, World. Let's come here. Choose this to Scene Light and Scene World. Environment Texture. Hit Open and open the AXR that you have. Rotate it so that the lighting is good. I'm gonna do something like this. Maybe like this. No, this is good. Let's add a mix shader here. Search for light path. Put camera ray into here. This here. This way, here you have a separate control for the background color, and this is a control for the lighting of your character. So yeah, let's do something like this. Now let's render one frame, like this. And let's go to compositing. Let's add a new compositing node. And what we're gonna do is put a pixelate node here. And now to pixelate it, we need to put a scale into here. We scale this, for example, by 0.25. And here we scale by 4. This way we add the pixelization. You can see it here. We're going to sampling and add, put this to nearest, and here this to nearest as well. This way we have a sharp pixelation going on. And to control it a bit more easy, what we can do is add a value node. So this has to be like 1/4, and this has to be 4. This way we can do that like this way. Divide. Let's put this value into here. Put this to 1. Put this here and here. And this into here and here. This way we can control how big the pixelization effect is and do it to our liking. I'll leave it at 4. Now let's just render this. Choose where you want to save the video to. You can render it as PNGs and compose it later together in Premiere Pro, but I'm gonna be showing something quicker. Just render it as put media type video and don't touch anything else. Well, this should be good. Just set this as video and render it. Render animation. Here's the animation going. There we go. So here is the final result. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments. I'll be happy to answer every single one of them.